Now I just have to find us again. There we go. All right. Good morning. Whew. So our pig is down. We had a good death. I don't have a tea right now. If you did not know and you clicked on this and the title did not give it away, you are going to watch a pig being gutted and skinned this morning. We're doing the banana method, which I learned from my buddy Jestro over at Metcalf Mills. So also we have the stun and stick method. Last time I did a video like this, I told you guys that I was going to try and film it and make it an unlisted video so you could see it. And that did not work out so well last time. This time, I think it worked very well. I was able to capture the entire process of the stun and the stick. So if you would like to see the stun and the stick, the actual death of the pig and the bleed out, send me an email at theflannelguys with an S 54 at gmail.com. Again, the stun and stick method is going to be I have an unlisted video that I will publish tomorrow, hopefully. So you'll have to ask for it, though. It's not something I'm just going to give out or put on it. And if you missed the email address, you can go to our About page. And underneath our YouTube thing, go to About, and our email is listed there, so you can copy and paste it. It looks like everything is working. Yeah, sounds good. I had to check my other device to make sure the sound is good. So again, today we're doing the skinning method, like a pig or like a banana, that Jestro from Metcalf Mills taught me via the internet. Hey, Floma Town famous. Hey, Chris, glad you guys are here. As you can see, our pig is over here. You will see a little bit of blood. I apologize. Oh, hello, Mountain Prepster. I think we've only had one chat, but it's good to see you. Monkey Food Garden, hello. So here is Mr. Pig. He is just finishing his twitches. It was a very good drop, very good death. As you guys know, this is not something we take lightly. Hello, Carolyn. It's good to see you. We love these pigs as much as you can love a farm animal. We treat them very well. They have wonderful lives where they don't have to search for food. They don't have to worry about predators. All their needs are met, and then one day they don't exist anymore, and they provide sustenance and food for us. Our food from factories is killing us. I think it's evil what they're doing with food. So this is one of the ways that I ensure my family and my children are healthy, is by knowing what I am putting in their bodies. It's also snowing a little bit. I don't know if you could see a little bit going by my super cool vest. This vest I got for Christmas. What do you think, superhero? Woohoo! This vest I got for Christmas because of these types of things. I have cut this this hoodie here that you see, right? Because Liberty Not Licensed, how are you, my friend? It's good to see you. I don't like anything on my forearms because when I wash my hands and stuff when I'm working with the animal, I don't like to get all my clothes all gooped up. So I have modified this sweater. I think it's very necessary. I have a hood, and I actually have a butchering apron that we're going to go put on. So he's just about done with his twitches. We're going to string him up. We're going to rinse him off. Then I'm actually going to burn the hair off around his haunches. I know his haunches. Anyway, his feet, right? His hooves. We're going to burn that hair off first, and then I'm going to string him up, and then we're going to skin him. And you guys will see this is an incredibly fast process. It's very clean too. I think scalding might be just ever so slightly fast, or not faster, but cleaner with getting all the hair off if a scald goes well. But as you guys know, last time we did a scald, did not go so well. So I did this method before. I find it highly effective if you're on a limited time. Today is more important than the actual butchering day because today it depends on how much adrenaline gets in the meat, right? If you don't have a good kill, how much blood you get out of the animal if you don't have a good kill. If you don't put them aside for 24 hours and keep them from eating and you pop the intestine, the gallbladder, the colon, if you get poop inside the animal, that will ruin the butchering part. The butchering part I like more because you can make all your cuts and do all these things, but if it looks like you butchered it, you can just throw it in the meat grinder and you have food. But you can't throw contaminated meat in the meat grinder. So today is the most important part. That's one of the reasons why we made that unlisted video. So again, if you would like to see the pig actually be dispatched, send us an email at theflannelguys with an S 54 at gmail.com. I'll put it in the description, and I will send you the unlisted video. Please don't share it on any type of media unless you know, not even any type of media, but if you know someone that needs this information, feel free to send it to them, but it's not something we're going to make public. YouTube has rules, and we don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. So, time to work. Enough chatting. This is a like 3/8 braided steel cable that I made with the little clamps for this purpose. Torch, do a little burning real quick. my apron. Hold on. Look all officially official. All right, so the reason we did that is so that when we are skinning it, we get the hair off around that area and it doesn't fall onto the good fat that we want. So anything loose around that area, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut behind the Achilles tendon and string it up, and that's where we're going to start our skinning. So I don't want any hair falling. So we're going to get them inside, get them hooked up, turn that tractor off and get busy. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Peaceful Acres. We'll chat more in a minute. All right. Whew, it's chilly. We got a little fire going over here, so that's great. Right. You see me disappear over here. We're just checking on that. Just isn't doing so well. It's also important not to set your hat on fire when you're in the fire base. All right, let's throw a couple sticks on there real quick. A little bit more fire going. Woohoo! All right. Now that we're nice and lightheaded. This is about 4 feet long, and it's just a little braided cable we got from Lowe's. A couple bucks. To lower our hook. Okay. Lock that back in place. Let's get you a little closer to the action. All right. Make sure you have your honing rod laying around. I will roll them back and check comments in a little bit. They're scrolling by. I can see y'all. But it's a little difficult to comment on the comments. All right. So we've got our hanger here. If the pigs aren't big enough, sometimes the hanger doesn't work and you have to make a slit, and that's okay. As you can see, the hanger's a little wider than his feet. So right here, behind where the Achilles attaches, we're gonna make a hole pretty close to the haunches bone, the hocks bone, excuse me, not the haunches, the hocks. Fairly good size opening. Hook in there. Yeah, so he's probably not gonna fit, and that's okay. Shave a little more. Make our hole. And if we can, we'll stretch it, and if we can't, then we'll just make a slit. All right, it's not gonna work. So, very carefully, right here, We're just going to open them up just a little bit, break the tension on that skin. Little more. There we go. Okay. Get them hooked. And up we crank. At some point, I'm gonna need to move this thing. Because this is silly. There we go. Oil that one at. Now, a boat winch is just so happened to be what I had. You can use a engine hoist, come along, just about anything. All right, so here's our piggy. Probably should go a little higher. A little higher. I want to make sure you guys get a good view of this because this method is great. Something else I like to do because I have the space is I tie their legs so he doesn't spin. Nothing fancy. Makes things a lot easier when you're not chasing it. All right. So, but the banana method. You'll need 2 knives, regular old skinning or butchering knife, and a hook blade, sometimes known as a roofing blade or a carpet blade, flooring blade, what have you. I'm gonna make a rim around here, go straight down. We'll start it with this and peel it the rest of the way. So you can hook up even here where you already made the cut. Just go right around like so. Little 360 action. And you hook in here. Doesn't matter really where. I like to go along where the seams kind of are naturally. And you hook in there, and you push and you pull, and you go all the way down. Okay? You can see it kind of open up. Oh, maybe not there. See it open up right there? Okay? Come over here, maybe 3-4 inches. Hook. Go straight down. Exact same way. All the way down to about the jowl. Straight down the back, all the way about to the ears. If you had to open them up, you connect these two right here. And then I go around the anus. So we're gonna mess with that later. Right around the tail. Here. Straight down the backbone. And then this side is almost done. We got the belly. Right here. Straight down the sternum. Watch for the pizzle. See that? It's got some pee in there. We don't want that on our meat. Don't want that on our meat. Hook over here. If you're working by yourself, you don't have a bunch of people to help you scrape and scald, this is a very good way to not have it take up your entire day. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stuff that in our pocket because sometimes you miss a spot. Take your skinning knife, okay? You pull right here and just stay shallow. Keep a rag handy too. Because then you can wipe the hair and bits and things off yourself as needed. Don't go too deep. Once you get to right about there, this is so cool. Once you get right there, you should be able to do this. Now in some cases, right here, right, we're getting a little deep. You can take your knife, make it shallower. I'm gonna peel it right off. I made this one too big. I'll have to fix that on the other side. That's okay. That's it. Easy peasy. All right. Should I get on this side? Just like that. Just like that. Now, one thing I'm noticing, as you guys know, we have not been doing this that long. This is the 9th pig I've done. We are constantly learning. And what this guy's doing that the last guy I did not, is pulling a lot of fat off. And I don't like that. I don't like it at all. The last guy, I don't know if it's because he didn't have much fat, but this skin peeled off super clean. This guy is trying to take all his fat with him, and I want that fat. So I've kind of modified as we're talking to skinning as we're pulling. So as you can't see, if you've never skinned before. So we're pulling tight and we're just kind of running it along the seam. There we go. That's better. That's what it's supposed to do. I might have cut too deep with the razor knife, to be honest. Let me show you the difference. I think that's what happened. We went too deep with our razor knife. Well, lesson learned. Always learning. See how thin? How thin that is? Versus up near the top, where it was taking chunks. That is a lesson learned. Don't go too deep with the razor knife, or you'll pull off all your fat. All right. Fat's where the money's at. Fat is what gives you energy. Fat is what gives you processed fat, which is lard, which is good for all sorts of things. Lard is what gives bacon's fat. Fat is what gives you flavor, right? Like, oh, don't eat fat. Don't eat fat. Are you nuts? Fat is like superfood, man. Energy, all that stuff. All that good stuff. Yeah, we took off a lot that we should not have done on this guy. Well, like we said, lesson learned. Lesson learned. I'll see if I can do the other side better, and then we'll show you the difference, because I'm not happy with this one side at all. We might have torn off half our bacon. That's a tragedy. Absolute tragedy. How's your guys' weekend? You having a good one, hanging out here with us? What's on your plans today? What kind of prep are you doing this winter? Whew. I am grateful that you're here on a Saturday, hanging out. Gives me somebody to talk to. My family is not terribly interested in this part of it. We all like to eat it. That is for certain. Yeah, that's better. That's better over here. Although, my middle child does come and help me butcher when we get to that part. She's getting pretty good at it, too. I was talking to a gentleman today. Went and bid a stump grinding job. He was telling me at Christmas time, he grew up on a farm. And their whole family lived nearby, you know. In the holiday season, they would do 8 hogs for their family, and that was the Christmas present. I thought that was pretty cool. All the family and stuff would get together and they'd make a day of it, you know. Those are my favorite times to do this, when we have friends come. Not just because the help is nice, which it is, but just the sense of community and doing things together. I enjoy very much. Come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, see, look at that. That is skinning much better. Back here, you can see the difference. Just pulling right down. So that first guy I did, this guy's disappointing on that other side. So I might have to add something. I think I'm gonna add a cut over here, see if that makes a difference. See if I get the fire going good. Doing so good for a fire, man. There we go. Just need a tap. I see it. Couple of logs. Still actually snowing here. Just barely. But it's snowing. See if that does better on this side. The high today here is like 40, which is just perfect for this. Tonight it's getting down into the 20s. And tomorrow the high is like 43. And we're gonna let this guy hang longer than we've ever let one hang, which is not long. Normally I do it today, and then tomorrow I would butcher. But I'm on duty tomorrow, and I won't be able to. But it's gonna be cold enough that we're gonna be able to let him just hang out here in the barn. So we're going to close the doors and let him just hang. Talk on him. Come on. There we go. There it is. Now I'm all like trigger shy, you know, because gun shy, whatever the term is. Because the other one did not skin. I think I took off like 1.5 pounds of bacon. You don't want to lose bacon. The whole point of the pig is the bacon. There we go. Clear. Oh, it's starting to, when it starts looking like that, you know, you got too much good stuff in there. I didn't want to do that, but oh well, that's okay. See how much it was starting to take? Just want the dermis, epi and otherwise. I'm gonna pull on off the back fat. All right, so I think I've learned a lesson today. That pig that I did this method on, that I liked so well, was essentially a wild pig, okay? He did not have hardly any fat on him. Now that was not the video I showed you guys last time. Last time we did the scalding method. And what this is showing me is that on a pig that you raise yourself on grain and forage, they have so much fat on them that you can't just peel it. You're gonna lose good fat. So I don't think on one of my pigs I'm gonna do this again. Even though the scalding and scraping method takes more work and more time, if you invest 9 months into a pig, there we go, there, it just broke free. 9 months into raising and feeding a pig, and then you lose a bunch of the fat. Where's the point in that? All right. Where's the point in that? Almost done. Even still, we're way ahead of schedule compared to scalding. Yeah, it does not look... Man, the last guy just peeled. No problem. This guy's not wanting to give up the fatty fat. There we go. Well, boy, when it works though, it works really good. Oh well. Let's modify it as we go. It's one of the things about life in general, right? How often does stuff go exactly according to plan? Not very often. So we just adjust. Take the lumps and keep on going. I think I'm gonna have to make some more firewood or cut some more firewood to get ready so I can scrape the next one. Don't you, nope, leave it. Good girl. You'll get some. I got some delicious organs for you. You know that. Yummy organs. You want a heart today? Huh? Couple more strips, then we'll get to gutting. Careful when you're working on the belly that you don't go too deep for a couple of reasons. Obviously, one, you don't want to waste anything, but two, you don't want to poke a hole inside the organ cavity until you're ready and end up popping something you didn't mean to, contaminating that meat. All right, looks like one more strip. And we'll be done with the skinning for now. Suppose I should be telling you jokes or something. Talking about the geopolitical situation in the world. How they're trying to control us. And all that good stuff. But we won't. Maybe. Maybe. Need my string. String's in here somewhere. Where's my line? After these messages, we'll be right back. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I had a ball of twine in here so that we could tie off the backside. I don't see it. So you know what that means? It means we have to walk over to the car and get the one that I bought. Because I knew I was getting low. Come on, Esther. Come on. Betty, hi. Betty says, I missed the beginning. Did Brian dispatch and hang the pig to dry for a time? So, I have the video. I did film it being dispatched. I did film it being dispatched and stuck. I didn't really film hanging it necessarily because when you stick them the way I did, they pretty well bleed out on the ground. But then I picked him up at the beginning with the tractor and rinsed him off, and he's probably hanging for 15 minutes or so. Fresh ball of twine. Alrighty. Ta-da! Hi, Melissa. Yes. So we started at the beginning. I filmed with my other camera, the dispatching part, that I will make an unlisted video. So if you want to see how to actually dispatch and stick a pig, you have to send me an email because I'm making it unlisted. The email address is theflannelguys with an S 54@gmail.com. Once I get that thing edited, which won't take long, I will upload it and send you a link. The only way you can see it is with a link. So that being said, please keep that link for future reference, because you won't be able to just search it. That didn't work well. So save the link so when it comes time for you to do your pig, you can find it and do it. Unless you want to come here and we'll do one together. Well, that's weird. I don't know where the end is. I don't like that at all. I think I told you guys last live stream that I'm headed to Sean, the Modern Yeomans, to help him process his pig. And not only will it be myself, but it will be, oh, there it is. Man, I stuffed this whole thing for nothing. From what I understand, Billy from Permapastures is going to come. The Kramer Life is coming. Sean, the Modern Yeoman, obviously will be there as it's his pig. And my brother, David the Good, has said he's coming. And it's possible Jason from So the Lamb might be there, but we don't know that for certain yet. So you need a couple pieces of string, one to tie the pizzle and one to tie the rectum. So the pizzle's right here. The urethra goes in there, comes down to about, well, you can't see. Wish I would zoom out some. I always feel like I'm moving you guys around. Boop. So the pizzle comes all the way down to here. So we cut around that, and then we're going to look for our other bits. I'm going to move our butchering table a little closer. We're going to start on the right side kind of the seam. Just start to open that a little bit. There it is. So here is, can't see. This is what you want to be careful of right here. You see this little tube? That's your urethra. Okay, so you don't want to cut that while you're trying to get this out, because that will have pee come down. This here is a little node thingy. It's part of their, I believe, the lymphatic system. These little brown doodads, don't worry about those guys. Piggies like them. Doggies. Esther! She's been waiting very patiently for her part. you can see it runs all the way down here. Can you see down there? Yeah, you can see down there. Wish this had sound, you guys, so you could be like, hey, look over here, look over there, I can't see. What I like to do is tie them off right here. Cut just beneath it. And I cut this whole section out. We don't need that, but Esther likes it. Esther! Now he had some urine leakage, which is not unusual. So we're going to rinse the front off before it sets in. And what we'll do Monday, because when that happens, pretty much anywhere that pee touches, you don't want. Okay? Even if you rinse it off really well, there's no way you can like soap and wash it perfectly well. So what we'll do tomorrow is this whole section here, not tomorrow, Monday, when it's nice and cold and firm, I'll shave all that so you don't have that problem. All right. Boop. Okay, real friendly. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. You know it's running right there. I'm just going to kind of keep exposing it. Then we're going to start cutting into the symphysis pubis muscle. Always keep your hands, you don't want to get cut obviously, but keep them where you know that urethra is on that side of things, because what it does is it actually tucks around and gets right up next to your rectum area. Okay, so we have that open. This is the guts cavity down in here. We don't want to go any further that way. So now that I know where it's running, I can come over here to its left side. Okay, so you can see it kind of disappears between the butt cheeks. Now we're going to go on the back and tie off the rectum. Once that's done, we'll open this the rest of the way, reach inside and pull the whole thing out, which sounds super easy. Like I said, this is the most vital part because we don't want to get poop or pee inside of our cavity. So what we're going to do is cut a circle around the rectum, okay, being very careful. And we'll attempt to tie it off. So I like to come right against the tail. You can kind of see the way the backbone is. You can see the rectum right there, maybe. Cut right along the tail. All right. zoom in so you guys can see. Whew. Right up on a pig bottom. So that dark spot is the actual anus opening, and then right there is where we cut the tail. What this allows me to do now is kind of ride the backbone and then cut over here. Now this skin is stretchy, so it's very easy to actually cut into that edge. You don't want to do that. So once you get a little thing going like that, you can cut down about 1 inch or 2. Okay, that's not the rectum. That is right back running the tailbone. Come this way, to the right. There's already a natural cavity in here. So you just need to cut around enough that you get something like this. Okay, so I'm literally pinching the rectum closed, and I can see the tube running down. So to make sure nothing bad happens, we take our string, going as low as you can. Really, it only matters that you cover the opening, because we don't want Mr. Piggy to have a gas explosion with something in it that would contaminate meat or us. Okay, so he is now tied closed. Now, you see in the cavity right there? Somebody said, enjoying the teaching, but hold on. Let me see what you said. I have comments on. I just have to be able to see them. Am I in the way? I'm probably blocking everything with my head. Better set the camera off to the side so it's more visible. Okay, Charlie, hold on. All right. How's that? Is that better? See the tied anus? And you can see down in the cavity. So where this finger is, that opening right there, that's what we're going to start working to free everything. And I like to cut as little as possible in this point because you don't want to pop anything. That doesn't mean you can go the entire way without cutting, but actually it looks like I cut right through it right there. Do you see that yawning opening right here? Yeah, you can. This right here is actually part of the rectum. I cut through it. Now, we haven't fed our guy for 24 hours, so there's nothing in there, so we're going to be able to fix that. So we're going to cut through the top here. Free up that tube so that I can tie it off lower. Because accidents happen, my friends. Where did my other knife go? I set it down and it ran away. There it is. All right. Better. Okay, good. Sorry, guys. Just say it enough time in the comments, and one of the times when I look at the camera, I'll see it. All right. Just gonna have to be careful. Now, a lot of this that I'm sharing with you, I'm not sharing it out of a knowledge expert place, okay? As you guys know, we have not been out here very long. My first pig was less than a year ago. I guess it was right around this time last year. I went to a conference at Studley Farms in Mechanicsville. If you get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. Because quite frankly, as you guys can see from angles and such, there's only so much you can learn from YouTube. But I am sharing with you because I am learning. And what we're not afraid of around here is making mistakes. And if you guys, I'm sure you know, a lot of you who live this lifestyle, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. And it's just kind of how you react to the mistakes. You can't let it end your day. You just got to figure out what's going on and move on from there. All right, off to the side, as much as we can. So our bone is still attached here, our pelvic bone. So we're going to open up the cavity here. Mountain Prep said, that's one of the reasons I love watching you. We learn together. That's right. That's right. There are times to watch experts, right? Because they're experts at it, and you can go, oh yeah, look at that. They did it in no time. But if you never see anything that goes wrong, how are you going to adjust to it when it happens? So we're going to open this a little bit more. And we're going to start reaching up and feeling be very careful cutting here, okay? What I do is I keep my hand between it. My fingers kind of spread a little bit, and you can open things up just like that. Now, if we did not take him off of food for 24 hours, this whole thing will be bulging out. Makes it very difficult. Okay? So again, if you can tear things, that's great. So see his bladder? This bladder is nearly empty. They can get up to like 20 ounces of fluid. So this is his rectum here, I guess one of the colons. And his bladder urethra runs right along with it. So we're just going to kind of keep feeling up in here. And you'll feel little tendony, sinewy type things holding it to the pelvic area. And you just kind of keep breaking those apart. Don't pull too hard. You could tear everything. All right, so here's his rectum, right? See the fuzz? The hair popped right out this side. Okay, we didn't have any poop come out of the hole because he doesn't have any poop in him because we stopped with the feed. Now he might have some somewhere in here. But 24 hours is really the best, guys, for this. So here is the urethra. We still need to get that free. Let me aim it up a little bit. I'm gonna have to wash my wife's phone. Oh, oh no, we lost you. Great, slimy, go for guts. Get in there. you're back. Man, my production team is terrible. Oh, wait. It's just me. All right. Now, I hope you can see this. We're going to make sure you see it. Look where I'm pulling, and you see down here how it's moving together. That's how you know you're starting to get it free. Once we get this guy cut loose, the rest is much less scary. So he's right here. There's a tendon right there. Or a ligament. I don't remember. All right. I think we got it. Look at that. That's it. It's out. So now, let's drop you down a little bit. So we now have the urethra and the rectum, colon, and stuff hanging out. So we're going to keep going down with our cuts here, and then we're going to pull all that stuff out the front. So once again, I put my hand inside the body cavity, spread, lightly just cut as you go. You'll see it. Don't stick the knife in this way. You use it that way so you know where your tip is at all times. Okay, so we got it pretty well open. Now most of the stuff is hung up on the backbone area with a bunch of tendons and such. Some of these you can just kind of pull. But once you get this stuff, there's nothing in here, back here, but meat. Okay, so here's our colons and intestines and stuff. You see how it's hanging? Move you again. So much moving. I need to call Discovery and get a show so I can make this easier. So you see in here, nothing in here. Okay, that's meat, fat, whatever. Here's the rectum, the intestines. Okay, that's poop right there. That's what we want to be very careful with. You see all these dangly bits? You can take your knife now and away from the colon, pulling on it ever so gently, cut those, and you can pull it, okay? And back you up, and basically we're just going to lift and pull it out. So nice and gently. No poppy. Just come out. Just come out. Okay, right where the kidneys are, there's some pretty massive tendons and such. That's what we just cut out. I feel better seeing me wear rubber gloves. What difference, and I don't mean this in a confrontational manner, but what difference would it make if I was wearing gloves? Because the gloves would then touch everything I'm touching, right? So, Melissa said, what part do you use to make salami? I don't know. I've never made salami. It's just an honest answer. We tend to make a lot of grind because we use ground pork for almost everything now that we have good, clean pork. And roasts. That's the diaphragm right there. Okay, so we are past anything that would be dangerous to cut. See this right here? That's the stomach. You see how big that still is? This here is leaf fat. And this is actually a delicacy. It's kind of just a fat in between all the organs. That's leaf fat. Isn't it beautiful? Stuff's like $100 a pound overseas. And we here in America hardly know anything about it. So set that aside. Now, I like to use leaf fat on my meatloaf. You just drape it across. It makes it so beautifully delicious. All right. A couple more cuts. Oh man, his rope just cut loose. You can pull this till it breaks now. It's not a big deal because we got the bad stuff out of there. So now we have the trachea and the esophagus that are coming through. We'll just cut that there. So all the organs essentially are out. So we're just going to cut right there. Boom. That's it. Piles out. Hard part's done, my friends. We had no accidents inside the body cavity. We lost a little bit of meat on this side, which hurts my feelings. Scott, the Celt, not Cult, says, have I ever gotten any feral hogs? So the one pig I did last time that I did the skin method on was basically feral. He was one of the same out of this group, but he escaped and lived for like 9 months in the wild. So he was much, much less fatty. Very, very thin, skinny. So I like to take, I normally have a 5-gallon bucket. Right, here it is. My organs in there. So we have lungs over here, we have the liver. All that is great for dog food. I know there are people that eat all sorts of parts of the pigs. I quite frankly haven't gotten that hungry yet. So there's your liver. And you can look through the liver to see if they have any parasites or anything. It's got a little damaged spot right there. But overall, there's nothing growing in here. It's clean, it's rubbery, it's very good. Gallbladder's right there, you don't want to poke that. But my dog Esther, look at this. I know it's not part of the butchering, but she is waiting so patient. Do you want some livers? Do you want some livers? Here you go. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want me to sit down? Come get it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get it. I have to put it right up to you. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Go ahead. Oh man, sorry. This is like her favorite day. Really? You're not getting the pork chop. Excuse me for a moment while I adjust you guys. See you, Liberty. Thanks for being here, my friend. Yes, Mountain Prepper says not feeding animals for 24 hours is applicable to all of them. I do it with chickens, rabbits, goats. Sorry. Whoa. Back up. There you go. Sorry, my little harness came off. Bill Elrod said, how's the liver taste? I have no idea. Esther would have to tell you. Not a big liver and onions kind of guy. There we go. Sorry about that. The little mount got loose. Got a few more things to do. Yeah, chickens, anything. Anything you can make their digestive tract smaller, all right? So we still got some work to do. But the scary part, the part that can contaminate your meat, is over. All right. So I'm going to take the lungs here. Esther gets those. Here you go. You want the lungs? That there? She might not like the liver because of the gallbladder. You got to take that joker off. You know what? Let's try the saw. I don't think I've ever actually tried the saw on the pellet one. I normally use a hatchet, but I have a butchering saw, so we'll see how that goes. Looks just like a hacksaw, except it's a little bigger. Popped right through. Now we got to get down to the sternum. Man, I need a smart one that follows me as I do it. Please don't get sick. This is just for you. Boop. All right. So now we know there's nothing in here, so we can just keep on cutting right down. I actually don't know if the saw will fit in there. Yeah, Monkey Mama said that this method looks a lot faster than the scald and scrape, and it is, but I discovered on the other side that I ended up losing a lot because the skinning didn't work the way it did on the more feral pig, because this guy has so much more fat on him. You can expect more blood and such in this cavity. And here's the heart. Nice. Again, you can check for diseases and stuff. You can see actually right there where part of the knife went. But we severed that aorta and they bleed out very, very quickly. Do you have the lungs? I gave her those. She should just eat it. I think Esther took the lungs up to the house. Probably to share with the missus. She's absolutely not interested in sharing. get the hatchet. Melissa says my dog won't eat chicken livers unless they're cooked. The last time we did it, I made a big soup for her. Hey. Good, but we learned some things. Learning's expensive usually.
Yeah.
There we go. The peel method on a fat pig is wasted. Look.
Yeah. So it worked well with the completely free-range pig.
With a completely free-range pig, jam up. On the back, it worked pretty well. For those of you that can't see, Mrs. Flannel just came to check out the progress. Hi, Miss Flannel. I keep trying to get her to live stream with me. She keeps saying no. She knows so many things, you guys.
I don't know anything. Just a dummy dodo with lots of opinions.
Lots of hope. Lots of hope and opinions. So you see here.
How about hope? Lots of opinions.
Hope is a waste of time. You see how it's perfect?
Yeah.
But then here,
Oh,
just
yeah.
it was starting to rip all the fat off.
Yeah, and you're just covered with hair. So.
Yeah. See, I had to nick it, and just it's not
Yeah.
nearly as good.
Okay.
But it was still faster. But you don't want to waste.
No.
You don't want to waste it. So I
Gosh, he
don't.
did have a lot of fat, didn't he?
He still does.
Yeah. How did that affect the bacon, you think?
I think we lost half of it.
Okay.
Not half, but you can see
A
it
good
started
bit.
to.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how much other fat is under there. So I was very careful on this side and like
Okay.
cleaned it all.
Okay.
So we'll see on Monday what comes up of it.
Bacon.
Huh? I know, that's what I said.
So.
Bill Elrod says hi. To you specifically.
Hey.
But the death was very clean. Died quickly. Bled out a lot.
Yeah.
So that was good. So now we need to take the tail off, raise him up, take the head off, and then have him and let him start drying and cooling.
Seems a bit slower than when you were with the forage guy.
Well, because the forage guy, I just stripped and it was
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Because
Done.
he didn't have any fat.
I also didn't have these fine folks with me that I was trying to move cameras around with also. So it takes a little longer, but they keep me company. So we're gonna take
If
the
you
tail off.
notice, he doesn't like being alone.
It is not good for man to be alone. We did not have any excrement or pee inside the body cavity,
Excellent.
which is good. We have had that before. The feral guy, I'll tell you guys, was a pain. Because as soon as I squeezed his rectum to tie it, poop came out all over my hand.
We couldn't get him off the ground because he was,
Feral.
he was essentially feral.
It was a
Yeah.
wild piggo.
Yeah.
And yeah, so nothing exploded inside the body cavity. We were able to do it
Just makes it awkward.
cleanly. But man, my hands stunk for 2 days. You don't want piggy poop on your hands. All right.
Well, this has nothing to do with this
No, what's going on?
glorious
What is our day
situation.
doing? What do you
We
need?
have successfully mixed down one accordion song.
All right.
So our computer does not have the CPU to do 200 kilobytes per second. The highest I was able to do is 60,
Okay.
but it does not sound like a Zoom call. She's pleased.
Okay.
So we successfully moved it to her MP3 player. We are
My
good
oldest
to
child
go.
is very talented with music, and she has filled her keyboard. So we have been working for
months.
months trying to get her stuff moved from the keyboard because she's filled up all the memory to our computer.
I know. I didn't realize that audio engineer was going to be a part of my job description as homeschool teacher. So I had to learn a skill.
Stay-at-home mom means everything.
Everything. But we've done it, so
Great job.
she is now going to move on to the next thing, and she seems very open to publishing work now.
All right.
So.
Actually, you guys, we've discovered that copywriting basically means you publish it. And publishing it is something like YouTube. So we might be starting a channel for our daughter's music here shortly so that she can copyright it. I'm going to get her to write a song for me that I can use in our videos because it'll be really cool. All right. Head time. Do. Carolyn says good deal. Thanks, Carolyn. Carolyn's like on it. She's watching everything. She's commenting on everything.
Telling you when you're wrong.
Telling me when I'm wrong. That's your job.
I cherish that duty. All right. I'm making lunch, but you
All
don't
right.
look like you're in a place where you can stop. So,
I'll just eat some pig.
gosh, he is really fat.
He is very fat, yep. So I think the black one will be also similar,
Yeah.
but
Well, now that we've gotten the little runtlet separated with
we
Penny,
can let him get bigger.
well, he is looking bigger.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You fed them.
I did. I fed everybody this morning.
Thank you.
I think Penny looks bigger too.
Does she? Penny is our pregnant piggy. Woohoo! We think she's pregnant anyways. We're like 90% sure she's pregnant.
Yeah, she's round.
Can't actually tell.
No.
'Cause we're not experts by any stretch of the imagination, if you guys haven't picked up on that by now. But her belly looks different than our other sow's belly, so I'm not a doctor, but she looks pregnant.
She looks pregnant.
So hopefully inside of 2 months we should have.
How offensive.
Yeah, right?
If she's not.
If she's not pregnant, she's just a
When's the baby due?
little pot belly. What baby? At the zoo with the pandas.
All right. Well, I'm fixing lunch for
All right.
the kids.
I'll be in shortly.
Okay. Nice job.
Thank you. Just getting some of the rest of the skin off before we take the head. Because we might as well. Might as well. There we go. All right. So right about here, just behind the ears, is the atlas vertebrae. You're going to need a longer knife. One more like that. And this is how much you have to go in before you hit bone. It's way deep in here. And one of the reasons you do the stick method instead of like slitting the throat like on, say, a chicken or something, is you have to go so far in there to hit something. It's actually the most accessible method to do that stick right up there by their and aim for their heart. Landmarks are easier to find, and sometimes your pig is still twitching, right? Because the shot from the stun and stick method doesn't always kill them, and it's not really always meant to. If it kills them, great. But typically what it does is it stuns them so that you have time to jump in and do the stick. You certainly don't want to be trying to slice 4 to 6 inches inside a pig's neck looking for the jugular. Okay, so if you do this right, you can end up right where the cartilage meets, and you can cut through it this way. If you don't do it right, you can just grab a sawzall or the butcher saw. Sometimes if you get everything cut through the tendons on the side, you can give it a twist, which is easier when the head is tied to something. Well, looks like I might be sawing. That's okay. We have a saw. See how high up that is? Way up there. So the jugular and stuff is all the way down here. It's just a very hard thing to find. All right. Gonna let him drip dry a little bit. Now we're gonna have it. Rinse off first. Never actually tried using just the saw. I've always used a sawzall, but I kind of want to try it, if you guys will indulge me. Then once we get it halved, that's it. So I'm gonna take a few minutes afterwards to answer any questions you might have. So be ready with all those questions, if you have any. You might not. Maybe we'll just discuss the geopolitical situation in the world and how they want us to eat bugs instead of delicious homegrown meat, and how it's illegal to own chickens in your backyard, or any of the other pet peeves. Got blood on the phone, man, that's not cool. Any of my other pet peeves. So we've already kind of cut down this with a knife, because you don't want to go shredding through your meat with a blade if you can help it. And this thing makes short work of it. Stay short work in it. Starts to work me. It's not moving. Woo! My saw cuts on the push. Woo! Get too old for this. You might have to cut a little bit of the diaphragm here to get that last little blood out. Believe me, you don't want blood in your meat. That's what's left of the trachea. Woo! I'm gonna do a quick rinse. Then we'll show you the finished product. You can rinse blood out of the cavity. You cannot rinse off poop and pee. You can decon it a little bit, gross decon, but whatever that stuff touches, you just gotta cut out. Now Monday, all these areas that have blood and stuff on them, I'm gonna cut off. Let me dry my hands and we'll show you the finished product. Yeah, Melissa, normally I use the Sawzall. I have a special blade, not a special blade, but this blade here is one I only ever use for the pigs. So it's one of the longer blades. And I only ever use it for butchering. So that stays there. So yes, battery operated Sawzall makes quick work of it. But to be honest, I just kind of wanted to try it. I think I'll continue using the Sawzall. Now in commercial butcher shops, not that we agree with everything they're doing, of course, but they do have, you know, bandsaws and those types of things. Whew. So let's take a look at what we got going on. So you can see this side didn't come out as good as we wanted, not as clean. And if we would have used the scalding and scraping method, that wouldn't have happened. So that was kind of a waste and I feel bad, but it happens. This side came out better. You can see, nice and neat. Got a few hairs on there, we'll close off tomorrow. This, my friends, is what we're after. Look at that beautiful meat. So you have your loin up here. It's where pork chops and loin come from. Your tenderloin is in here. These are your kidneys. I haven't taken those out yet. Your ribs, your bacon's over here. Your Boston butt and such is out here in the shoulder area. You got your hams up here, right? Nice chunky hams. It's gonna be great. And Monday we will do the butchering, at least a half of it. We'll show you the one side. But if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I'm not even sure what time it is. I'm gonna scroll back real quick through the comments. If you'll permit me to make sure I answer everything. Scott the Celt says pork gel tacos. You got it, man. Hey Matthew, how are you? Oh, you shrank. Let me reach you back up. Whoop, come on. Up you go. Let's have a conversation. All right. All right, so the head is sitting back there. It's chilling. We're going to skin the head, okay? And then we're going to take the bacon off. If jowl bacon is delicious, there's basically almost a full roast that sits on the back of their head. It's very fatty. I don't make the head cheese. What you can do is scrape it all, clean it all, and then choke it all in there. Not choke it, throw it in a big pot, make what's called head cheese. I tend to butcher the entire head down to almost nothing. And then Esther gets the bits. She gets the tongue and stuff like that. I don't mess with the hooves. I know you can scald and pull the toenails off and boil them and get some collagen and stuff like that out of it. It's just not something we've messed with yet. We're still very cityfied, So a lot of that we just turn into dog food for Esther. The skin I don't use. You can use the skin if you get a really good scald and scrape and get it really, really clean. There are certain cuts of meat you can use the skin for. Again, I have so many pigs that it's not really something that we're into. So typically I cut the hocks off just where the feet are, and Esther gets to chew and play with those. Oh, you guys are chatty. I love it. Liv says, where all the snow? Isn't it normal to have snow there now? Please tell me it's not usually terribly deep snow. It's not. It's just like there's just a couple flakes falling here and there. Oh yeah, Liberty says maybe my nephew could make me a smaller one. Let's see. You could dry those straps over a load fire. Yeah, you can do things with the hide. It's just not something. Yes, we cut a lot of the fat off ourselves. Hey, Chris is back. His phone died. Darlene sent an email. Cool. Move it. I streamed it to my TV so my daughter-in-law I could both learn. Several times now she said to lean in to see over your shoulder. Wanted to share your laugh. I appreciate it. Betty says I wear gloves for almost everything, so I was wondering where your gloves are. So here's the thing. I have soap in the barn and I have a hose out here. I can wash my hands in between, messing with the skin and then messing with the guts, or messing with the rectum and then messing with the organs. I don't really see the point in wearing gloves, because unless you change gloves every time you go between things, the gloves get dirty and then you're still touching things. So I like to be able to feel what I'm doing. I like the tactile sensation. So yeah, I'm just not a big fan of gloves. And when I butcher things, I also have soap and water out here, and I keep my hands very clean when alternating between, if we do the skin or the scald and scrape method, for example, instead of skinning, there's still skin on the pig, even if most of the hair is gone. And I have stations where it's skin side down, and that's the only thing that touches that side is skin side down. And then we flip it to meat side down, take the skin off, and then we finish processing it. And even in between those stations, I'll wash my hands. So I don't really see the point myself in gloves. The pig head just fell off a table. That's hilarious. Especially when all of this is going to be cooked also. So yeah, let's see what else. Charlie says, we just butchered our first 2 last week. If we only watch professionals, we feel like failures when something goes wrong. Real life experience teaches us more, and we learn together. Amen. Feral hogs. I think I got most of these so far. Yeah, lots of lard, man. I love the lard. So good. No pickled pig's feet. Yeah, sorry. Darlene says, how do I do the dog food? Freeze and raw feed later? Last time I did a pig, I put a big cauldron actually on the stove. And yes, Betty says she has eczema. Okay, so yes, if you're trying to protect your hands from all the constant washing and things like that, absolutely, that is a great reason to wear gloves. If you have cuts and stuff on your hands or anything like that, those are good reasons to wear gloves. So yes, eczema, cracked hands, whatever. So the dog food, yeah, I made a big stew of it and then kind of put it on the ground and let her go to town. What we've talked about doing this time, because she couldn't quite eat it all, is just running it through whatever we don't eat, except the skin and some of the organs that are bad for her to eat, obviously like intestines and stuff. We're going to run it through the meat grinder and then probably vacuum seal it and then give it to her as needed. Because anything you can do to save money in this game is a thing. Chris says, I'm getting 2 females tomorrow. Woohoo! The cool thing about females, when you're processing them, is their vaginal opening and their anus are right next to each other. So instead of having to do that whole pizzle thing and all the way up around and everything else, it's all right there in the back. So you can just make one circle around the anus and the uterine, the opening for the urethra and all that, and tie that whole section off, and then you can start working from the front and work from the back. They are significantly easier to do than the boys. Peaceful Acres says, sorry, I was eating lunch, so you're cutting out the anus, had to close. No problem. I totally understand. So yeah, we're gonna let him hang tonight, all day tomorrow, and then Monday, probably sometime around lunch, I'm gonna start butchering. So I'm going to attempt to have you guys back and show that side of things. That's my favorite part, is breaking the carcass down. I really, really enjoy that part of it. Today is good, but today is a stressful day. The first day to me is the most stressful day because you have a whole bunch of stuff kind of riding on what you're doing. You know, when you're killing an animal, and I don't care what kind, size, whatever, it's always nerve-wracking. It always makes me very anxious, to be perfectly honest, because I don't want to cause that animal any undue suffering. So far, of the 8 pigs that we've done, or is that 9 now? We've only had 1 kill that took more than 1 shot and didn't go well. I'm hoping, I haven't looked at the video yet, but the video that I took, I'm hoping gives you a good angle for things. I did show after the fact kind of where to put the knife and things like that. But that's all very kind of heart-wrenching, but you're also on a clock, right? Because as soon as that animal is dead, the bacteria start to grow. So you need to get them open and cooling kind of as quickly as possible. Not only that, like we talked about before, if you poke a hole in the gallbladder, you poke a hole in the stomach, you poke a hole in the intestines, you poke a hole in the colon, you poke a hole in the bladder, you cut the rectum, the urethra, any of those things, and you get mess in your pig, now you've just lost a lot of your product, right? So like today kind of determines the entire, either did all that work you did raising this pig come out okay, and it determines how much meat we're gonna have tomorrow. We lost probably 3 pounds worth of fat because of that skinning method that just didn't work kind of the way I wanted it to. But that's okay. We're learning every day. And I have probably 130 pounds hanging up in there right now of good meat. And it's clean meat. It's healthy meat. And we're going to get it butchered up. What'd you say, Matthew? I'm sorry. I started waxing away. Man, it's 1:30 already, you guys. The last pig head I had left in the walk-in, but propped up at eye level for employees to have a chuckle. We smoked it whole, and I had an eye, tongue, and jowl tacos that week. Cool, man. More power to you. I don't know if I could do it. I've had cow tongue. I have not had pig tongue. So, anyhow, now I have to go bury innards to make sure that Esther doesn't dig them up and try and eat them. And I've got lunch to do. I've got to clean up my stuff, and then we've got to set up the butchering stuff because I actually have to work a 24-hour shift tomorrow. I worked a 24-hour shift yesterday, and we have one tomorrow. If you haven't, go check the bacon out that we made. Monkey says, I wish we lived closer to y'all. Hands-all learner. Thank you for very, very good information. Not Midas worked as well this time, but good to have options. Well, I don't know how far you are, but you're more than welcome. Just camp out on the property. Hang out, have fun. So, all right, my friends. Well, as always, keep growing as you go. God bless you and keep you this week. Go check out our bacon video if you haven't already, where we cure the bacon from a couple of pigs ago. It is very good. I don't have any idea what she has for lunch, but it's going to be good. So may God bless you and keep you this week. This one and Monday are going to be our live streams. I don't know that I'm going to have a third live stream of us talking politics in the weekend and stuff. We could do that maybe when we're butchering the pig and there's less noise. We can chat about eating bugs and them controlling the money supply and, eliminating the IRS and all those good, wonderful things. So thank you all for being here. Grow as you grow. See you next time. Bye.